Register Apprenticeship, Earn and Learn. This webinar is going to talk about what Register Apprenticeship is and how it relates to individuals with disabilities, the referral process, and the state expansion grant. So what is Register Apprenticeship? Register Apprenticeship is an employer-driven training program. Basically, the employer molds, makes, and creates the Register Apprenticeship program. The employer is the one that basically creates the program, dictates exactly what the program looks like, what they would like to see in the program within certain regulations of within the Department of Labor. Register Apprenticeship also combines on-the-job learning task with classroom instruction, or you may hear it called related training instruction. On-the-job learning consists of 2,000 hours of on-the-job learning each year, and related training instruction is a minimum of 144 hours each year. Both on-the-job learning and related training can be modified depending on the individual that is selected. So if you are working with an individual with a disability and they are selected as an apprentice, really work with that sponsor or that employer to figure out the accommodation for that individual of what that on-the-job learning or the related training would look like. Also, the Register Apprenticeship allows the Register Apprentice to earn a paycheck from day one. This is completely different than an internship or work-based learning or an on-the-job learning experience in a different program. Basically, the apprentice is an employee from the moment that they start the job, and they're guaranteed a job after they are completed. Why Register Apprenticeship? Register Apprenticeship, like I said on the previous slide, employment is during the program and it's continued after the program. So it's different than all other programs. It provides structured on-the-job training and classroom instruction. It gives you a national occupational credential at the end of the program, certifying that you are competent within the skills within that occupation. And there's possible career advancement within Register Apprenticeship because typically the sponsor sees aptitude within that apprentice and they tend to promote that apprentice up through the ranks. Specific benefits to job seekers in a Register Apprenticeship is that you'll see improved skills that meet employer-specific needs because the employer will basically train you to the skills that they need for that certain job. Your wages will increase as your skills improve because the wage progression within your program, it starts at a certain wage and it ends at a higher wage, and you will know when your wages will increase throughout your program at the beginning of your program. On-the-job learning training will be received throughout the course of your program with that minimum of 2,000 hours of every year. However, that could be changed depending on accommodations. Occupation that would be focused on education, you will not have to take certain classes that are unrelated to your occupation. You will not be taking, for an example, you'll not be taking like American history if your job is welding. It's all focused on the occupation at hand and it's all related to that job. Career advancement, like I mentioned before, you'll see that career advancement because individuals that follow through with the apprenticeship program, the employer will see loyalty within the apprentice. And it ends in that industry recognized national occupational credential that is portable that you can take to another state. If you want to move out of the state of Iowa, you can take to another state and it's recognized just like a 4 or 2 year degree is. How does a Register Apprenticeship program work? Like I mentioned before, job seekers receive both on-the-job training from an assigned mentor. That assigned mentor is with you throughout the course of your on-the-job training. So you are learning from that person day in and day out on how to do a specific skill, and you are doing it proficiently and safe. You're doing it safely. That mentor is with you until you are deemed capable of that certain skill or certain ability. The job seeker will also receive that classroom instruction. That classroom instruction could be in a community college setting. It could be in a distance learning. It could be at your employer. It could take it could be in many different sites. So it all depends on what your employer decides where that classroom instruction will be received. The job seeker will receive a paycheck from day one from the employer, which could also include benefits depending on the employer. So check out with that sponsor to see what other benefits would be included in that payment of the apprenticeship program. As the job seeker skills increase, so does the pay. You do make at least minimum wage when you start off within a registered apprenticeship program. And upon completion, you get the National Occupational Credential. The length of the program. The length of the program ranges between 1 and 5 years in length. It all depends on the occupation that is selected. Some occupations are based upon time, so it's a designated time that you have to be in your apprenticeship program. Other programs are actually based upon competency. So it depends on how fast you can progress through the program. Again, if you need an accommodation within a program, individuals can speak with that sponsor and accommodations can be made. Like I said, a program includes 2,000 hours of on-the-job learning each year of the apprenticeship program and a minimum of 144 hours of related training instruction or that classroom instruction per year of an apprenticeship. There are hundreds of occupations that are out there. There are over 1,300 occupations nationwide. That doesn't mean that we have all 1,300 occupations here in Iowa registered, but there are options out there for employers to start up a program. There's traditional fields such as the skilled trades like welding, electricians, plumbing, pipe fitters, and then there's emerging fields such as healthcare, like certified nursing assistants, certified medical assistants, pharmacy tech, IT, such as IT generalist, help desk support, advanced manufacturing with maintenance tech, maintenance supervisors. There's a lot of different occupations that are apprenticeable, so I would encourage individuals in our American Job Centers to take a look at the apprenticeable job occupation list that is put out by the U.S. Department of Labor to see what occupations are apprenticeable, and just be cognizant of which occupations are apprenticeable and what sponsors are around you. So back in November of 2016, we received what's called the Apprenticeship USA State Expansion Grant. Under the state expansion grant, we had several goals, but one specific goal I want to highlight today is that we want to see 10 individuals, individuals with disabilities hired by a registered apprenticeship sponsor by October 30th of 2020. This goal is completely obtainable because before the grant was completed, the U.S. Department of Labor was not tracking individuals with disabilities on their registration form. Now they're tracking. Now we are making a big effort to hire individuals with disabilities, including individuals that may come back from may be considered service-connected disability as a veteran. So look to see individuals, talk with individuals with disabilities, talk with the modifications or accommodations that can be made on the job, and see what we can do to help individuals get jobs that pay well and have those benefits and that can be trained on the job, just like I mentioned before in the presentation. So we have a documented referral process when we're working with candidates between Voc Rehab and IWD or Iowagov. We have a passport to referral form, and you can find this passport to referral form on our 18 AJC field guidance folder, or if you're on our Voc Rehab staff, Michelle Kraft has sent this form out to all the staff members to fill out. If you haven't received that form, you can certainly email Michelle Kraft or Amy Beller, and we can get you that form Candidates who are job ready or apprenticeship ready should be filling out this passport to referral form. The form gets sent to the recruitment and placement team individual in your office, the RA program coordinator, which is Amy Beller, and the IVRS business service manager, which is Michelle Kreft. The recruitment and placement team and the IVRS business service team member should contact the registered apprenticeship sponsor together to discuss the training benefits that registered apprentice job candidate may be able to bring to the table if that individual is hired. You also want to share the resume and the passport to referral form with the RA sponsor, so then they know who that candidate is and talk through that candidate with the RA sponsor. The recruitment and placement team and the IVRS business team member should contact the RA sponsor to confirm if the job seeker was hired. If they were not hired, we should get some information as to why that individual was not placed or hired by that RA sponsor, so we can provide that critical feedback back to the job seeker and help that job seeker with the next position that they apply for. Then you want to result the job order out in iWorks to confirm if the job seeker was hired or not by that RA sponsor. And if the job seeker was hired, please add the apprentice ID number to a sticky note in iWorks, and then share success stories. Tell us about the individual that you referred, give us a little bit of background on the individual and the RA sponsor and when they're going to start, and photos are always welcomed as well. Also, you can refer to the new registered apprenticeship website, earnandlearniowa.gov, for information on job seekers, for job seekers and businesses alike. You can also look on the business side, and you can go to earnandlearniowa.gov/sponsors to see all the current sponsors we have in the state of Iowa. If you're wanting to see what opportunities are out there, it's not meaning that they're hiring, but what occupations are out there that are registered within the state. If you're looking at opportunities that individuals or sponsors that are hiring, you should look at the Iowa Job Bank for apprenticeship opportunities for individuals that are hiring. So thank you for tuning in to this webinar. If you have any further questions, you can certainly email Amy Beller at amy.beller@iwd.iowa.gov.